Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, June 11th, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. It's great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. NCM has some exciting news. We're happy to announce that Norwood Community Media has been selected as Station of Overall Excellence for the Alliance of Community Media National Awards. Executive Director Jack Tolman was thrilled when he got the news.
Norwood Community Media is a member of the national organization called the Alliance for Community Media. And every year they have an annual awards where you submit different videos of different work in different categories. This year I am super proud to announce that we won the Overall Excellence Award, which we refer to as the Station of the Year Award. It is an award given only to one station in each budget category for the overall work across the different channels that we produce. We have had a difficult but also rewarding year for Norwood Community Media during the COVID shutdown. NCM never stopped producing videos, government meetings. We really stepped up and helped the town get the word out on what was going on with the Board of Health, the town manager, the police department, the fire department, the Norwood Hospital situation. So when we got that email that we won the Overall Excellence Award, I actually just took a deep breath and I said, super rewarding to be recognized by our peers and by a national organization. All of us here at NCM, we love our jobs, we enjoy what we do, and we feel we're vital to get the news out to the community. And to be recognized with an award like this just kind of makes us all take a deep breath and kind of reflect back on the year that we had, how we went virtual, we went live, and we just really kept being Norwood Community Media, the home of all things Norwood.
President of NCM, Jerry Slater, acknowledges that it was a very hard year and she is appreciative of the staff.
So on behalf of the entire board of directors, because we all feel this way, we couldn't be prouder. And to do it the way we did it, with all the challenges and the obstacles that we had to overcome, it's just amazing. So it's an amazing testimony to our entire NCM team, the staff. Fantastic how the team rallied together to pull this off. And again, the board of directors we were able to just sit back and watch with pride.
June is Pride Month, and around the world people are learning about the inclusion and celebrating the LGBTQ plus community. The Norwood Library is hosting Zoom events for Norwood children and adults to learn about queer identity and to celebrate inclusivity. Library Director Clayton Cheever shares more.
There's two programs. The first is happening on Thursday, June 10th. That's actually, as we're recording this today, that's tomorrow. And it's called The Pineapple Project. It's a play about identity for kids. And it all started when someone was talking with their nephew, and he said, can boys be princesses? Very much along the lines of, do boys only get to like blue? Can boys like pink? Can girls like blue? We're all our best when we are allowed to be our best self. And what does that mean? We don't, I'm a boy, I'm a man now, but I don't have to just like blue. There are so many other possibilities. And that's what it's about, is freeing up kids to be exploring what it is they're interested in. Not forcing any kind of agenda, just making them free. So that's happening on Thursday, June 10th. And then on next week, on Wednesday, June 16th, we are having Drag Kings, Queens, and Friends for a virtual story hour. And they're going to come in and welcome everybody who attends. We have amazing turnout. It's all families that are registering. You have to register for yourself and for your children and list your children's names. So again, we would definitely strongly support the rights and responsibilities of parents in the community and trust that parents are making the responsible decisions for their families. We want to provide opportunities and be inclusive of everyone in the community. And we've heard a lot of people tell us how grateful they are that we're being inclusive and that they feel like they belong here at the library. And that's how I want everybody to feel. We want to be offering things to enrich everyone's lives. And June is Pride Month, so we're really excited to be celebrating.
Though many residents are excited for these events, there is some opposition from community members. There have been standouts in support of and in opposition of the mentioned children's programs. Norwood resident Rita Russo coordinated the standout for community members concerned about the performances.
We had we had 8 signs. We had 8 people holding signs. There were many people supporting. There were lots of adults with children, quite a few of them on Saturday, and they had rainbow flags and that sort of thing, and homemade signs. There was a lot of signs that talked about hate. We don't hate anyone. This wasn't about hate. This was about performances through the library that we thought were inappropriate for children. I think that they perceived it as opposition to their lifestyles, and you know, our whole objection was that it's not appropriate for children.
Cheever feels it is important to offer opportunities for all of Norwood's residents.
For people who are concerned about the nature of these programs, I would encourage them to engage with us in honest dialogue, to trust that we know what good story times are, what age-appropriate story times are. There is nothing sexual about any of our programs for children. That, you know, I'm a father myself, and you know, I stand. There is, you know, absolutely nothing that is inappropriate in these programs. Everything here in the library doesn't have to be for all people, that we are looking for things that appeal to people, and I know that there are a lot of people in the community that this is really resounding with. It doesn't have to please everyone, and that's okay. What I want to do is find things that enrich everyone's lives. It doesn't have to be the same thing. We've got, you know, stacks and stacks and stacks of books. I don't expect every book to be everybody's favorite book. Of course not. That's a ridiculous idea. So what I do hope is that we can help you find the right book for you. And that doesn't have to be the right book for anybody else.
For those interested in registering for events at the library, please check out their website. We'll be right back with coverage of last week's graduation and for a town meeting preview.
I'm a dad and a pastor.
I'm a mom and a principal.
I am a daughter,
wife, and machu.
Great-grandfather.
I'm a rock climber.
My husband, a father, and a grandfather.
I'm a mother, a daughter, a wife, and a cousin.
I got vaccinated for my parents.
Because I want to be a good neighbor.
For safety and for the people I love.
For my family, for my community, and for our community at large.
કારણ કે મારી ઈચ્છા હતી કે મારા બાળક બીજા બાળક સાથે રમી શકે.
I got vaccinated so I didn't have to wear a mask.
For my family and for my community, your community.
We all come from different backgrounds
and speak different languages.
But we all agree on one thing.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Getting vaccinated.
get vaccinated.
Vaccination card.
To protect yourself and others, get vaccinated. To find out more information and to find a clinic, go to mass.gov/COVID vaccine.
Welcome back. Last weekend, the class of 2021 at Norwood High School walked across the field for the last time as students. In front of family and friends, the students took to the turf field for the in-person graduation ceremony. Principal Hugh Galligan explains.
Class Day and graduation weekend were a tremendous success for the Norwood High School class of 2021. First of all, congratulations to all the graduates and their families for all of their hard work. They have truly earned these special recognitions, and we are so proud of them. On Class Day, on Friday, June 4th, we celebrated outside on the field. Students had a socially distanced ceremony on the field, and family members and spectators were welcome to attend. We gave out over 90 different awards and scholarships, some with multiple winners, to celebrate our seniors and their hard work and their accomplishments. In addition, at Class Day, the senior class presents the following traditions: yearbook dedication, which this year was presented to our essential workers, our nurses, custodians, and food services staff at Norwood High School. The class also went through their class will and had a fun time with that. And the class also presented the class history, which over the last 4 years, as you know, there have been many challenges and memorable moments, not just here in our community, but across the country and the world as a whole. Then On Sunday, June 6th at 1 o'clock on the field, we celebrated a pretty traditional graduation ceremony. It was about 93 degrees at kickoff time, so it was quite hot, but that did not take away from the celebration we had. We were pleased to welcome up to 6 guests per graduate, and we graduated 241 graduates last Sunday from the Norwood High School class of 2021. It was a tremendous weekend. We were happy to celebrate together in person. It was a wonderful milestone, and congratulations to all of the graduates and their families, as well as the educators who have helped support them along the way.
Monday night, town meeting will return to the NHS auditorium for the first time since November 2019. The 2 special town meetings will primarily cover a number of land use and financial articles.
We actually have 2 town meetings called. One deals essentially with financial matters. That is the second of the 2 that have been called. The other deals generally with land use or zoning matters. We plan to take the financial matters up first and get those taken care of, out of the way, and then go into the other town meeting that involves the zoning matters. That'll probably have a little more discussion.
Hearn explains what the town meeting members can expect when they arrive on Monday night.
The feeling is that conditions have improved to the point where we can use the auditorium, which has also the audiovisual facilities that will be helpful in the presentation of the different articles that are coming before town meeting. We're asking everybody to come in door 3, which is the door that leads to the auditorium. There will be 2 sign-in tables instead of the usual 1 sign-in table, and they're broken down by districts 1 to 4. We'll use the table to the left, and districts 5 to 9 will use the concession stand area to sign in. We have a few other changes, no ID cards or ID badges this time. We'll have stickers for the town meeting members. And beyond that, the meeting will be pretty much the same in terms of being in the auditorium, although we do encourage people to spread out a little bit, particularly if somebody feels uncomfortable not being vaccinated or not knowing whether people are vaccinated. They might want to spread out a little bit. There's plenty of room. We've got better than 750 seats, so plenty of room to hold everybody. Even though the mask requirement is no longer in effect for most circumstances in Massachusetts, and many people fortunately are vaccinated, we have been asked by the school committee, and this came up after the letter to the town meeting members was sent out yesterday, so this is a supplement to that. We've been asked by the school committee to wear masks while in the school building, and this is based upon some policies that the school committee has about which we had not been aware. So everybody coming to town meeting, please bring a mask. We'll probably have a few extras available if somebody forgets it. Don't feel you have to turn around and go home if you realize getting out of the car you didn't bring one. But please plan to wear a mask for everybody's safety, but also because we've been asked to do so by the school committee.
NCM will be broadcasting town meeting live on the government channel starting at 6:30 p.m. Now we toss it over to Miles Kidd to find out what is happening around the Norwood School District.
Hi guys, I'm Miles Kidd, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. All the schools are enjoying their end of the year celebrations. The Callahan School was first to say goodbye to their 5th graders. The other schools will graduate next week. Let's catch up with some graduates from the Callahan.
I'm feeling good. I can't wait to see kids at the new school, and I can't wait to go to the Coakley. I'm going to be a little sad.
I'm feeling really happy at the same time, but I'm going to miss the school as well.
Well, the memory that I wrote down that I read was when we were playing off the wall and I kicked the soccer ball and it hit our teacher's soda out of his hand. So that was my favorite memory.
All the field days.
In the 3rd grade field day.
This summer I'm looking forward to getting my cast off for one. And because we're going on a trip at the last day of school.
I'm probably going to Vermont soon. Thank you, Mr. Hinckley, for being such a good teacher.
Really, just thank you so much for helping me learn and get better at a bunch of other things with school.
Yeah, thank you for helping me with my homework and helping me get through the school year.
Really to the teachers for helping me out. Oh, and you for being my cousin.
Great job, 5th graders. Tune into NCM all summer to watch your graduations. Good luck, have a great summer, and we'll all see you at CMS in September. And speaking of the Coakley, they held their annual 8th grade award ceremony. At this ceremony, students are recognized for their excellence in all subjects. This program was recorded and will premiere on Wednesday, June 16th at 7 p.m. on NCM. Tune in to see all the great 8th graders wrap up their middle school years. At Norwood High School, the 2021 Technology Olympics are underway. Dr. Mike Crowley opened the Olympics by recognizing special members of the NHS staff.
This year, to start the Technology Olympics for us, we're going to honor our own healthcare heroes from Norwood High School. They kept the Norwood community, the schools, the staff, and all the students safe during the pandemic, and we want to honor them today. During 2020, NHS nurse Kathy was honored by one of the NHS staff members when she was nominated for a JetBlue Airlines Healthcare Hero Award. Later, she found out that she was a winner of a JetBlue Airlines Healthcare Hero Award, and she won 2 tickets to anywhere that JetBlue flies. How about a nice warm welcome today for our healthcare heroes from Norwood High School? And thank you both, Nurse Jen and Nurse Kathy, for keeping everybody safe during the pandemic. So you will do the countdown for us today whenever you're ready, and thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Okay, ready, set. 3, 2, 1, go!
And the 2021 Technology Olympics is underway. Thank you to our healthcare heroes, Nurse Jen and Nurse Kathy. Thank you both.
2 weeks ago, the Cleveland community honored their former speech teacher, Mrs. Adrienne Fine, who passed away from a brief battle with cancer. One of the activities was a 5-day coin collection drive for the Norwood Food Pantry. Through the generosity of students and staff, the Cleveland School was able to present the Norwood Food Pantry with a check in the total amount of $745. What a wonderful tribute to Mrs. Fine. The 3rd grade students at the Prescott School just completed a STEM challenge called Scribblebots. They were asked to design a robot that could draw pictures without anything touching it. They planned out designs using the engineering design process: ask, imagine, plan, create, and improve. There was a lot of trial and error, teamwork, and perseverance going on throughout the process. Groups kept trying new things, changed their prototypes, and figured out how to eliminate friction so the bots could move. Everyone had fun building, and in the end, all the bots created some really cool artwork. It's all about pirates, superheroes, and princesses this week at the Little Mustangs Preschool Academy. The preschoolers had so much fun exploring different themes every day this week. During camping day, the preschoolers created beautiful works of art while working on their fine motor skills. They had fun camping out in the tents and pretending to roast their marshmallows by the fire. They explored light and shadows while playing with flashlights in a dark room. Ahoy pirates! For their pirate day, preschoolers worked on their scissor cutting skills by making pirate hats. They explored pirate ships and hunted for letters on the sensory tables. They even ventured out on a treasure hunt around the school. And after reading some pirate stories and enjoying pirate music, they enjoyed a special snack, Pirate's Booty. But it doesn't end there. Hawaiian Day was a blast with special pineapple snacks and fun games. Superheroes and princesses were spotted everywhere on the special day as well. More special days to come at the LMPA. Well, that's it for school news. There's something interesting happening in our classrooms, in schools every day, and thanks to all the educators who share their news with us. Now let's send it over to Brian Dunn with the latest in spring sports.
Hello and welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn, and the MIAA tournament is back for the first time since early 2020, and a lot of teams are finishing the regular season strong and gearing up to enter. Let's go ahead and break down all the action. Over the weekend, NCM was on site at the Coakley Middle School to cover the final weekend of games for Norwood Youth Girls Lacrosse. Some great performances all around to end the season for the girls against Parkway, King Philip, and Brookline. Those games will be on demand on norwoodcommunitymedia.org soon. Monday night, varsity baseball takes on Westwood in a night contest at the Balk Field, and it was all Norwood wire to wire, led by junior George Tolman's first career home run as a Mustang as Norwood routs Westwood 10-0.
I went down early in the count 0-2, and I was really just trying to fight off every pitch. I didn't want to have my second strikeout of the game. I was just trying to fight it out, and it was outside pitch, and I just sucked the bat at it, and ended up, the kid was throwing hard, so the ball just jumped off the bat and went over the fence. We've been struggling at the plate all year. We've had a couple big innings, but I thought we hit well, like all throughout the entire game tonight. Defense was awesome too. Jonathan pitched well, and overall probably our best game of the year.
Back at it Wednesday, this time we have JV softball action against the Hopkinton Hillers. trailing by as much as 10 runs at one point, the Mustangs roar all the way back and took this one 18-17 against Hopkinton. Same day, wrestling in their senior meet also puts on a show against the Hillers. Hopkinton has always been a tough matchup for Norwood, and both sides showcase some good skill, but the heavier weight classes were just able to edge out Norwood and take the overall victory inside the NHS gym. Around the stand we go again, just to wrap up the week here in sports. Girls lacrosse loses to Acton. Boys and girls track and field pick up wins against the Acton Clockers to heat up before the TVL meet over at Bellingham. Boys lacrosse gets a close win over Westwood 7-5, and boys and girls tennis drop their matches this week. Big day to look out for next week is the MIAA seeding day. That's where we'll know where Norwood stands in the tournament picture, and that's when we can update you on our NCM tournament coverage. So stay tuned to social media next week for all the updates on that. Thanks for watching this week. Brian, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. In government on Monday night, the middle school building committee met to discuss the final decisions on the building. Auditorium and cost projection options were discussed with the board. For cost projection, the board unanimously voted option 3A and for an auditorium with a maximum of 600 seats with larger stage for functionality. Finally, the board went over the approval of the minutes from the last meeting as well as the approval of invoices and approved both those items. Next meeting will be in the coming weeks. Also Monday night, the Cultural Council started off by discussing the survey review they talked about in their last meeting. They continued to edit and review the survey together. The council voted to approve the revisions that were made during the meeting. The next meeting will be on August 2nd. For the first time since March 3rd of 2020, the Board of Selectmen held their Tuesday meeting from their chambers at Town Hall. The board was appreciative of those who helped prepare them for their first home field meeting. The board briefly discussed the ongoing conversation surrounding some upcoming children's programming at the Morrow Memorial Library.
And the commentary, I agree, the commentary for the most part was very good. And you like to see these types of discussions. You don't want to become accusatory, such as you mentioned, because that works to divide, and it defeats the purpose of having the discussion or what we're trying to, or what the group is trying to accomplish. I remind everybody there were no tax dollars involved here other than the individual at the library that might have had to work, but this was paid for out of the Friends of the Library. Not that the message is different, it's just that it wasn't taxpayer dollars that actually funded this project.
That is to say that functions within that are offered by the government are planned and presented by various bodies. Certain matters are overseen by different bodies, whether elected, appointed, or hired. That is a jurisdictional matter. This one does belong with the Board of Trustees and perhaps the Friends and the Director of the Library, and that's where it should lie, whether we like the presentations themselves or not. Is that a yes. fair thing to say? I don't think it's a cop-out to say that.
No, I think that's accurate. I would agree with you, Mr. Chairman.
The Board of Selectmen also discussed Norwood's recent popularity with production companies looking to use the Common as the quintessential small-town backdrop.
This one I have a little concern with also, that we don't just take it for granted without thinking about it. This seems to be the same people that filmed Ted, and when they filmed Ted, on the next street over, you couldn't move down that street with the size of the trucks and trailers that they bring to support it. And they seem to indicate quite a need here too, because they talk about wasting space behind Town Hall and behind the theater. And again, I don't want to see that the timing of the filming and the way they explain managing it seems like it'd be not too intrusive on the public, but it might be in parking and trying to use the area.
The Board of Selectmen will meet again on Tuesday, June 22nd. Also on Tuesday night, the Library Board started off by approving the minutes from their May 4th meeting. The Board voted Sarah Begg for the chair of the next fiscal year. Next, the Board discussed their reports and then presented Kushi Shah the Library Scholarship.
Kushi's application was amazing. Her writing sample, her personal statement was incredible. She's an incredibly talented writer. The recommendation from one of her teachers was fantastic. He could not say enough about Kushi. In fact, it went on for like a couple pages because he had a lot to say. But yeah, Kushi is just like one of those incredible students who's like an all-round, like she's just such a well-rounded individual by the time she's like 17.
Simply put, Kushi's character, maturity, and integrity is unimpeachable and unique among students her age. Her respect among students, staff, and administration is unquestioned and second to none. you don't read a lot of letters of recommendation that are as stellar as Cushy's. And it was really a delight to know that she's spent so much time with us and enriched us so greatly with her presence. So I think we could not be more proud to be awarding the Sastavisca Scholarship this year to Cushy Shah.
Finally, the board finished off by conversing their agenda items and stated their next meeting will not be until the fall on September 14th. The Community Preservation Committee reorganized Wednesday night. Patricia Starr was elected chairperson. Joseph Sheehan was elected vice chair. Joe Greeley was elected treasurer. Exiting chair Peter McFarland said his goodbyes to the group.
I won't be far, but I will not be participating in the CBC as a member now. So
Peter, the town is grateful to you for your contributions to this group and to kind of moving the needle forward on all of these issues. You've done a remarkable job, and the town's better for it. So thank you so much for your participation here.
Let's start this stuff. Thank you, Sarah.
This summer, the group hopes to expand and draft a strategic plan. The board meets again in July. Later Wednesday night, the school committee kicked off their meeting with a big thank you to beloved staff who are retiring in a couple of weeks.
But Susan Berry has been with us since 1998. She is a Cleveland elementary teacher. She'll be retiring. Donna Castillo, who's been with us since 1997, and she's a Coakley World Language teacher. Catherine Sirica, she was with us from 1997 till just this past February, and we are definitely missing her. She was our HR confidential secretary in the central office. Julio De Chus, he's been with us since 2001. He's the senior custodian. Barbara Dupre, since 2005, and she's Coakley Middle School special education inclusion teacher. Nora Glenn, since 2001, high school PE and health teacher. Maria Gonzalez, since 2012, and she was our English language teacher at the high school, or still is for a few more days. Sorry, folks. Donna Gonrus, since 1997, high school food services. Sharon Hickley, she has also been with us since 1997, high school food services cook. Patricia McKenzie, since 2001, Coakley Middle School English teacher. Gail McGoyne has been with us since 2003, and she has been a paraprofessional at the Willett and the Little Mustangs Preschool Academy. Elaine Ulatowski, oh my gosh, sorry, since 1985, Savage Center Special Education Facilitator. Lisa Wilcox, she is a Coakley Middle School math teacher who's retiring, has been with us since 2009. And Jean Williams, who is also a paraprofessional at the Willett, and she has been with us since 2004. So we just wanted to take a moment. And with us in person, we have Susan Berry, Barbara Dupuy, Patricia McKenzie, and Lisa Wilcox. And we just want to thank everyone for their service to the children of Norwood and the Norwood Public Schools, and just let you know that you will be missed.
Later in the meeting, Alan Slater presented an update on the middle school building project. Superintendent Dave Thompson shares the latest on what students and parents can expect in the upcoming school year. The school committee meets again on June 23rd. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for more town news.
What do social norms mean to you?
Social norms are unspoken rules society follows.
They can be positive or negative.
Impact Norwood wants to change the way youth are perceived when it comes to substance use.
We are just trying to have fun and enjoy each other's company.
You're not being sketchy or up to no good.
91.4% of youth have never smoked cigarettes. Instead, I spend my time making resin art with my sister.
89.5% of Norwood youth choose to stay healthy by not using marijuana. Instead, I spend my time doing diamond paintings, playing with my little sister, and studying.
85% of Norwood youth chooses to respect their health and drinking laws by not consuming alcohol. Instead, I spend my time reading and talking with friends about TV shows we watch.
78% of Norwood youth makes a healthy decision not to use electronic vapor products. Instead, I spend my time doing Girl Scout projects, earning badges, doing hip-hop dances, and making new friends.
I spend my time on my STEM studies.
I spend my time watching TV and hanging out with my family.
Would you like to help us change negative social norms about youth?
We are the norm.
We are the norm.
We are the norm.
We are the norm.
We're the norms.
We are the norm.
We are the norm.
Tell us how you spend your time with friends by tagging us on Facebook and Instagram at Impact Norwood.
Welcome back. Looking for a sweet, savory treat? Maybe a meal you can grab real quick and cook at home? Well, ChefinEaton offers that and much more. Here's the best part. They're located right here in the heart of Norwood Center.
Nestled between Vernon and Cottage Streets, ChefinEaton is a quaint pâtissière. It lends a European flavor to Norwood Center. Nedith Wakina runs a small cafe.
We serve European-inspired sweet and savory treats. We do sweet and savory pastries, savory plates, and we prepare frozen foods for people to take it home and chef in their own kitchen. So I would say some of our core offerings, we make amazing scones. That's saying that scones are dry, not here. They will change your life. We do awesome savory pastry. They're known as pâté, sort of cousin to empanadas or Jamaican patties. But we call them savory pastry because there are some people who are not familiar with it, and it kind of rounds out the sweet and savory offerings that we have. And those ones we do chicken, beef, spinach and cheese, eggplant caponata, and quite a spectrum of different flavors. And then we're known for our pies and pastries, mini pastry platters. We're a seasonal space, and so our menu, we have the core offerings, scones and so forth, but it adjusts according to what the season brings.
To keep things fresh at ChefinEaton, everything is baked and prepared in small batches.
We're a small batch establishment, so we do things as they sell. We don't do big batches, we make them in small. If we sell that, like we just sold out of our cream puffs, someone bought all of them. So we just made a new batch of them, hand whipped cream. So it's nice to see people coming in and see familiar faces, and then they send their cousins, their friends, their best friends and so forth here as well, so it's wonderful.
Nedith loves the location of the cafe and is excited to be a part of the Norwood business community.
It's great. Everyone here is very kind and very welcoming, and it's even though it's a lot of people, it feels like a very small, close-knit community, which is very nice.
To learn more about ChefinEaton, check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or visit their website at ChefinEaton.com.
I would say our mission is to bring joy from our kitchen to your table. You know, our motto is, our specialty is we chef, you eat.
The Norfolk County District Attorney's Office hosted a community shred day at the Norwood Senior Center earlier this week. Norfolk County DA Michael Morrissey was at the Senior Center to lend a hand and explains the importance of events like this.
We in the District Attorney's Office often try to remind seniors, particularly, and everybody in the community for that matter, to protect your identification. And so we often use the senior centers in the towns like Norwood today to allow people, and it's not limited to seniors, but we use them as a starting point to take the opportunity to destroy documents that may have identifying personal information that could be farmed or gathered by the unscrupulous people who try to steal identities or try to steal money or credit card information. Although the feedback's great. I mean, that people were mad during COVID that we actually had to limit the activities because of the personal contact. So we've now started again as it's loosened up. We try to do it once or twice a year, and a lot of the senior centers have been knocking at our door saying, "Hey, can you do this again?" And so you can see from behind us, people pulling up on a pretty constant basis. It's the latter part of the morning, and they're coming every 5 minutes anyway. And some communities they line up. So we think it's a good opportunity for us to spread the word and to help people out at the same time. Well, common sense, I guess, is to exercise a modicum of common sense. Just even if you can't come here, if you can't wait for us to come and destroy your documents, get a shredder or tear it up, cut it up and spread it out. Don't throw it all in the same wastebasket so people can put some stuff together. Just make sure you act appropriately, and that will help keep you safe and keep your money and your identification safe, which controls so much of life today.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week, and until then, have a great weekend.